And Vice President Harris possibly taking over the Democratic Party ticket will influence many voters who initially thought they would be choosing between Biden and Trump. West 2's Nike Brigadigas spoke with potential voters in Central Florida about the race.
When you speak with potential voters in Central Florida, you'll hear mixed thoughts about this year's presidential election. Some of them at this point are just overwhelmed.
Hi, what do you think about President Joe Biden dropping out of the race?
I think it's the right decision. I'm glad they're progressing, and go Kamala.
Oh, definitely not her. I'm from California.
I don't really care about that.
Jesus 2024.
Donald Trump, all day. Look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie.
You saw Biden endorsed Kamala Harris. If it's her against Trump, how do you feel about that? What do you think?
I don't think any of them should win. I don't think any of them are doing anything, anything right anyways. I think you probably do a better job, honestly.
Man, I would definitely have to say Trump.
He survived, bro. He survived an assassination.
I love Mr. Biden.
Maybe there's another position that he's better with handling.
He was a good president for, I think, everybody.
The actions of the Democratic Party over the last 4 years has just kind of made me and a lot of other Democratic voters extremely jaded.
So that's no question, Trump. And you look at how much everything costs and the way everything's going in terms of safety and the overall direction of this country, it's basically a no-brainer.
I don't mess with Trump, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? But it would be better if Trump was in office than Biden. Let's keep it G.
What do you think if Kamala Harris runs against Trump?
No.
Trump. Because the government is, I feel like the government is more so of a business, and he's a businessman.
Any president should be not born in the 1940s and up to date on current healthcare, people. And a dog would be better than both, preferably a golden retriever.
I just think that ultimately we're going to need to see some very young, insightful people that are going to be able to take Trump in a debate.
Well, I hope it's a good one. I hope it's one that we all can trust and not, feel worried about.
Can't say I'm shocked. We kind of live in a crazy world right now. Let's hope for the best.
Reporting in Orange County, Sanaiga Brigadigas, West 2 News.